Have you ever heard or said the statement, "Stop obsessing so much over that"? Probably. To you, it may seem like the word obsess was used lightly or jokingly. Yet for people with OCD, short for obsessive-compulsive disorder, it's an entirely different case. People with OCD genuinely obsess over something, and that a specific topic frequently plagues their mind with thoughts about it, and to a bothersome degree. These acts of obsessing are called, you guessed it, obsessions. They're inescapable thoughts or impulses that spontaneously pop up in one's head and can evoke traumatic emotions, often due to the disturbing, unwelcoming images they form. These obsessions lead to compulsions. Compulsions are an irresistible urge to behave in a certain way, briefly relieving the person of their uncontrollable thoughts through carrying out obsessive urges until they return again. Regardless of the temporary release they give someone, compulsions are not the proper way to suppress these thoughts. Medical help should be sought if one's OCD negatively influences their everyday activities. To go further, you've most likely experienced obsessive thoughts and compulsive behavior before. But how do you differentiate someone with OCD from a person who has merely encountered intrusive ideas or overwhelming urges? Those with OCD have these obsessions and compulsions set and repeat, like a cycle. Those without simply get them once in a while. To further elaborate on that, here's a story about a person with OCD and another without, who are encountering similar situations that often result in misconceptions about OCD. One night, James and Diana wake up due to a weird knocking sound coming from their window. Thoughts race through their minds, ranging from "that's a murderer" to "something's gonna come in," all because of different reasons, like fear of death, contamination, losing a loved one, etc. But one thing stays constant, wanting to reduce the anxiety caused by the knocking. As a result, they both immediately get up and lock that window. Shortly after, Diana goes back to sleep. James, however, stays awake, unable to fall asleep, with distressing images appearing in his mind, causing him to check on the window several times throughout the night. The following day, James left for work at precisely 7:42, only after locking every window in his house 9 times. At work, even though he was absolutely certain he closed the window, James was tempted to walk the 8,316 steps it took to get back home, just to check on those windows once more. Diana, in contrast, went to university with no uneasy feelings about her window. Now, you be the judge. Who has OCD, who doesn't? Most would say James has OCD and Diana doesn't. They're correct. James tested positive for OCD and also exhibits classic OCD behavior, like when he consistently checked on something, repeatedly did an action until it felt correct, counted the number of steps he walked to get to his office or house, and thought about the windows so much it intruded on his life. OCD affects everyone differently, and the above are merely a few examples of the many obsessions and compulsions linked to OCD. Having said that, the ones that James have are the most common. The act of checking to remove potential sources of anxiety is the compulsion, while the obsession may be worries about starting a fire, misplacing important things, flooding an area, or other concerns. Compulsive repetition of a gesture for a specific number of times may be because the number feels stable, lucky, or perfect. The exact empirical reason for counting, however, is unclear. Indeed, the exact mechanisms and why they are done are still a mystery to many of the people who suffer from this ailment, and the psychiatrists who treat it. OCD isn't a joke. After all, it's a clinical psychological disorder. Therefore, as much as people with OCD want or desire to stop all this nonsense, they can't. So, think before you speak, because OCD is not something to be taken lightly.